So, what do you consider success in sales? Well, there's a lot of different ways that you can interpret what success in sales is. And I'm just going to give you four little things to think about today as we start our week, as I'm connected with you guys, because I always like to give you a few tips on what's going to help you move the needle when it comes to sales. So, first, I want to talk about how sales is more than just making money, right? It is literally more about the pursuit of excellence in your own personal growth. And it's also that dedication of always learning more. The thing is when you're in sales, a lot of times, like, what are you doing as far as your improvement? If you're focusing on some old technologies or some old methods of how to sell, or maybe you're kind of stuck in that grind, kind of like I used to be, of like, I've got to use this old module that I was taught with, or these scripts that don't feel comfortable to me, but it's all I was given. And you keep going back to that as your method of learning and your method of figuring things out, but it doesn't feel comfortable. I can't tell you how many times that happened to me. And I would have to do those things. I even had to like role play to that certain way, right? And your words get all garbled, and it just feels unnatural. It doesn't even feel like yourself, like you're having a conversation. Like, you want to be able to talk to people like they're human. And sometimes these scripts, sometimes these programs make you feel awkward and they don't feel comfortable. And so my whole purpose is to teach you how to be able to sell, but with your own style, with your own beliefs, with your own heart desires inside. And a lot of that has to do with your gifts and how you sell. And so, yes, just think of the things as, remember, these tools that are given to you, just think of them as a tool. They're not the Bible for you to have to follow through on what you do. You have to come up with your own unique way in order to sell. And I wouldn't tell you just go ahead and just take the script and make it your own, because even when you do that, it's still a script and it's still not you, and it's still not who you are and what you do as you sales. And if you stick along long enough with me, you'll learn my methodology, because I have got my own methodology that I figured out after years of being in sales, right? Which led me to 65 million in B2B sales. But it took a while. It wasn't easy. Like, I had to figure this out myself. And because I figured this out so much, I'm like, I've got to teach that to people, because I want them to learn that it's not really that hard, but there is a method to the madness, if you want to say, of how to do that. Okay. Number two is success. It means about, what does it mean when you walk into the room, and are you commanding respect? Are you like in boss mode when you walk into the room? So you can either be an energy driver, or you can be an energy sucker. So when you walk into a room, what is your presence? Look, we all have bad days where something happened to us. Maybe you got a call right before you walked in. Maybe it's just a bad day and you don't even really want to be there, but you have to be there. Okay. I remember this one time when I was there with some clients, and I was actually in a good mood. So I wasn't in a bad mood. And I was there and I was like talking to people, conversing, asking questions. We were having a good old time. And literally, one of the people said to me, "Man, your job must really suck." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, you got to pretend like you're happy even when you're not happy," which was funny because he's right in some aspects, because you've got to put it on whether you feel like it or not, because that energy is going to drive people to you. When people see you, they're going to feel that about you, and how you come across is how they're going to respond to you. So if you're grumpy and not in a good mood, maybe you shouldn't even go in there, right? Because that will come off to them, and then they're like, I don't really want to do business with this person. I can remember some times where it literally got to times where I didn't have anything to say anymore. But I still walked in there because I kept my consistency, I kept my persistence, the things that I teach you guys all about. I walked in there and I did those things. And I can't tell you how many times when I had zero to say, people would go, "Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I have a question for you." But I would have never known that there was a question for me because I was closed off, right? So we want you to make sure that when you walk into that room that you command that presence and that people see that and they feel that and they want to do business with you. Tip number 3, never settle less than what you deserve. So if you need that promotion, if you need accolades, sometimes you need to create them for yourself because people aren't always going to be there to pat you on your back. You need to be the one to pat yourself on the back. You need to do a write-up. If you did something really great, write it up, share it with the people that you work with and say, this is what I did, right? Sometimes it's just going that extra mile, that extra 1% that you do in your business that will take notice of people that are working with you so that they recognize you more. And if you feel like you need that promotion, if you feel like you need that recognition, then you take the initiative to put it out there. Ask for it. Next time when you talk to somebody, you ask the people that you're working with saying, I've done XYZ, here's all the things I've done, and do it in a nice way, right? And when you put that out there in information and they see all the work that's been done, they're going to want to acknowledge that. And they're going to want to promote you. And if your ultimate goal is to start your own company, be your own entrepreneur, bravo. Do what makes you happy because you have to be passionate about what you do. And if you need help in that avenue, let me know because I can help you on that way too. But be your own boss, do your own thing, but take the initiative that you need to make yourself noticeable and that people can appreciate you in the long run. And then remember that sales means being able to see opportunities where other people see them as obstacles, right? You want to always be the optimist that sees an opportunity in something instead of something getting in their way. It's so easy for us to shut down and say, this isn't going to work, whatever. But if you can turn that no, if you can turn that obstacle into an opportunity and you actually can get business from it, I used to be a master at this, right? Like every time people would say to me, I want to be able to do this. Well, the direct answer a lot of times actually was no. And I was thinking to myself, wow, that's a really interesting thing. And I think the answer is no. I would be thinking this in my head. I wouldn't be verbalizing this. But I said, you know what? That's a great idea. Let me think about how that could potentially be something we could do. And I will get back to you. And as you know, if you've been following me for any time along, you know I've got my 24 to 48 hour rule. And when somebody asks me something and they need something, I always get back to people within that 24 to 48 hours, whether I have an answer or not. That's the only way to do business with people. If you don't do business with people like that, you shouldn't be doing business because you're being disrespectful to people that are doing business with you. So you follow up with that opportunity, you seize the opportunity. If there's some way that you can make that happen, well, then you make it happen because people will always see that you took something that was an obvious no, you brought it up, you came up with maybe even a slight little tweak that could actually turn into some business, and you presented that up as an opportunity. Well, then you're just the golden child, right? People will remember that from you, that you found a way to get around that roadblock and you did something about it to increase your sales. So I hope these 4 tips actually helped you on your way to your sales. Please follow and share for more. And I've got a free guide that tells you how to sell absolutely anything online, and it is free. So if you want to grab a copy, just put guide below and I will make sure that I send that out to you because it's totally free. And let me know if you guys have questions. Please put in the comments below if these 4 tips have helped you, if you've ever tried them, if you're trying them now, how they're working, because I'd love to hear back from you. So talk to y'all soon and have a blessed day.